All right, so get this. You know how we've all been using ChatGPT, like in our browsers?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it just took a major leap off the web and right onto our desktops with a dedicated Windows app.
Hmm. Sounds like AI is really becoming more embedded into our daily
Oh,
lives.
absolutely. And we're talking like fresh off the press news here. We're looking at an article from AutoGPT.net
Right.
called ChatGPT is now available on Windows, published just a couple days ago, October 18th, 2024.
Right.
So the big question here is this app a true game changer or just a flashy, add-on?
Well, let's unpack that.
Okay.
The headline news here is that ChatGPT, which I think everyone's been talking about,
Yeah.
now has its own space on Windows computers,
Yeah.
independent of a web browser.
No more tab switching. But I think there's more to it than just convenience, right?
Right. This move really suggests that OpenAI is aiming for a much deeper integration with our workflow. It's about making ChatGPT feel like a native part of how we use our computers.
Interesting. And they're not just, slapping the web version onto a desktop icon. This app has some pretty cool new features, like you can upload photos and files directly into your chat. Imagine having ChatGPT analyze like a complex diagram or condense a lengthy report while you're working on something else.
Oh, that's a great example of how the app can leverage the capabilities of a desktop environment. And there's something else that caught my eye, too.
Okay, good.
The app gives you access to the OpenAI O1 preview model,
Okay.
which is even more powerful than previous versions.
Whoa. Okay, so what does that mean for us? Like, how's this new model different?
Think of it this way. The O1 preview model is trained on a much larger data set and has a much more sophisticated understanding of language nuances.
Okay.
So it can generate responses that are more human-like,
Mm-hmm.
more coherent, and more tailored to your specific needs.
So it's not just about speed, but it's about like getting higher quality output.
Exactly. It's about having a more intuitive and effective AI partner. It's like having access to a cutting-edge research library right on your desktop.
Okay, that's impressive. But I'm guessing there's a but coming.
Well, there's a few limitations to keep in mind. This is still a preview version, so it's not the fully polished final product.
Okay.
Voice input, for example, is not available yet, and the integration with the GPT store,
Oh, right.
which would allow for even more specialized AI tasks, isn't fully functional.
Oh, man. I was kind of hoping I could just like dictate my emails to ChatGPT. I guess I'll have to stick to typing for now. But seriously, do we know when those features might be rolled out?
Well, there's no official timeline, but it's safe to assume that OpenAI is working on these features for future updates.
Hmm.
And in a way, having this preview period is a good thing.
Okay.
It gives developers time to refine the technology, and it allows us to consider the best practices for using powerful AI tools like, voice-activated ChatGPT.
That's a good point. We often rush to embrace new technology without fully thinking through the implications.
Right, and this delay gives us the opportunity to do just that. The cautious approach also hints at the potential power of these features.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of comparisons,
Hmm.
and there's already a ChatGPT app for macOS, right?
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. So how do they stack up? Is one significantly better than the other?
Both have their strengths, but it seems like Windows is playing catch-up a bit in
Yeah.
terms of functionality.
Right.
The macOS app has a more polished interface and a few additional features.
Mm.
But hey, at least Windows users finally have a dedicated app, which is a step in the right direction.
Definitely. Although there is one thing that makes this app feel a bit exclusive. Right now, it's only available for ChatGPT Plus, Team, Enterprise, and Edu users.
That's an interesting point. This limited release could indicate OpenAI's strategy of targeting professional and educational users first,
Right.
before rolling it out to a wider audience.
Okay.
It could also be a way to gather feedback and refine the app before a mass launch.
Makes sense. Maybe this will convince some people to upgrade their ChatGPT subscription. I'm curious, though. What do you think the bigger implications of this are? Is this app just a cool new gadget, or does it point to a larger shift in how we use AI?
I think it's more than just a gadget. This app represents a move towards a future where AI is seamlessly integrated into our digital lives.
Wow.
It's not just about having access to information. It's about having a powerful tool that can augment our capabilities and change the way we work, learn, and interact with the world around us.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of the app, but there are definitely a lot of bigger questions here about the future of AI and how it's going to change our lives. Where do we go from here?
Well, now that we've seen the features,
Yeah.
Let's consider the broader impact.
Okay.
This app's limitations, for example.
Mm.
Raise a broader point about responsible AI development.
Yeah.
How do we ensure that powerful AI tools are used ethically
Right.
and don't end up having unintended consequences?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a discussion we need to be having as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. So listeners, as we dive deeper into this topic, we want you to think about the potential impact of this technology on your own work and life.
Right.
Could this app truly change how you approach tasks, research, or even creative projects?
This is just the beginning of a very important conversation about the future of AI,
Yeah.
and we're excited to explore it with you.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're on the verge of something big, doesn't it? This technology is moving so fast, and this app feels like a real sign of that.
You know, it's funny. On the one hand, it's exciting. But on the other time, I can't help but think about all those sci-fi movies where the robots take over. Or get it a little too close for comfort.
Well, I think it's natural to have those concerns. It's definitely a conversation we can't shy away from. As this technology evolves, we really need to make sure we're having open and honest discussions about responsible development, you know? So it's not about, shutting down progress, but about making sure we're moving forward carefully and, with awareness.
Exactly. We need to be thoughtful about the implications, the safeguards, the potential unintended consequences. And those conversations need to happen across different disciplines. Technologists, policymakers, ethicists, and the public. Everyone needs to be involved.
Okay, so let's bring it back down to earth for a minute. Besides the obvious, asking ChatGPT to write our emails or do our homework, what are some practical ways people could use this app in their everyday lives?
Well, one of the most immediate benefits I see is for information retrieval and processing.
Okay.
Imagine being able to upload a research paper or a news article and have ChatGPT summarize the key points, pull out relevant quotes, or even organize your notes.
Oh, that would be amazing. For students, researchers, really anyone who deals with large amounts of information.
Absolutely. And think about the creative applications. You could use it to brainstorm ideas for a project, experiment with different writing styles, or even get help with learning a new language.
It really does seem like the possibilities are endless.
And as developers create more plugins and integrations, those possibilities are only going to expand.
But for the average Windows user out there, what's the takeaway? Should everyone be rushing to download this app right now?
Well, if you're already a ChatGPT Plus Team Enterprise or Edu user, I'd say, yeah, give the preview version a try. But for everyone else, it might be worth waiting for the full release. In the meantime, this is a good opportunity to start thinking about how AI tools like this might fit into your own workflow.
Yeah.
And what you'd want to use them for.
Okay, that's really good advice. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, but it's important to be intentional about how we integrate new technology into our lives.
Yeah, technology is a tool, and it's up to us to decide how we use it. This ChatGPT app has the potential to be incredibly helpful, but it's in our hands to shape how it's used and what impact it has.
I love that perspective. It's a reminder that we're not just, passive recipients of technology. We're active participants in shaping its development and its impact. Okay, so we've talked about the practicalities of the app, but now I want to zoom out and think about the bigger picture. What are some of the potential long-term implications of having AI tools like ChatGPT integrated into our operating systems?
That's a great question, and it takes us into some truly uncharted territory. If we connect this app to the larger trend of AI integration, we're seeing it everywhere. In our smartphones, our homes, even our cars.
It's true. I remember when having a GPS in your car was a big deal. Now my car practically drives itself. It's a little unnerving, but also kind of amazing.
Right. And as AI becomes more sophisticated and more embedded in our daily lives, we can expect to see even more dramatic changes in the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us.
So where does that leave us? What are some of the potential benefits and drawbacks of this trend?
Well, on the positive side, AI has the potential to automate those mundane tasks, giving us more time and energy for things we truly enjoy. It can also help us make more informed decisions by providing us with access to massive amounts of data and analysis. And AI can even personalize our experiences, tailoring everything from our news feeds to our healthcare to our entertainment.
I can definitely see the appeal of that. Who wouldn't want a personalized AI assistant to handle all the boring stuff?
Right. Of course, we can't ignore the potential downsides.
Yeah.
One major concern is the impact on employment.
Right.
As AI becomes more capable, it's likely to automate many jobs currently done by humans.
Yeah, we're already seeing that happening in some industries. It's definitely something we need to be thinking about as a society. How do we prepare for a future where AI takes over some of the jobs that humans currently do?
It's a complex challenge.
Mhm.
That requires us to rethink our education systems,
Mm.
our social safety nets, and our definition of work itself.
It seems like there's a lot to figure out. We've touched on some pretty significant topics, from the practical uses of this new app to the broader societal impacts of AI. What's like the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most important thing is to approach this technology with a sense of informed curiosity. Stay informed about the latest developments, engaging conversations about the implications, and be proactive in shaping how AI is used in your own life and in the world around you.
I think that's such an important point. We're not just along for the ride. We have a role to play in shaping the future of AI. Now let's shift gears a bit and explore how this app could change the way we approach learning and education. So we talked about how this ChatGPT Windows app could change, how we work and how we process information. But what about learning? Could this app actually like revolutionize education?
That's where it gets really interesting. Imagine, if you will, a world where every student has access to a personalized AI tutor,
Yeah.
one that can adapt to their individual learning style,
Yeah.
provide instant feedback, and even create customized lesson plans.
Whoa, that sounds amazing. No more, struggling to keep up in class or feeling lost when you're trying to learn something new on your own. It'd be like having a private tutor 24/7.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just personalized tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
AI could also help us, access information more efficiently, grasp complex concepts more easily, and even generate creative content.
Mm-hmm.
Just picture being able to ask ChatGPT to break down a really difficult scientific theory, or to help you write a short story, or even to help you compose a piece of music.
Wow, that would be incredible. It'd be like, making knowledge and creativity accessible to everyone. But is there a downside to all this? What about, critical thinking skills? Will those become less important if we're relying on AI to do all the hard work?
That's a really valid concern. We need to be careful not to become overly reliant on AI
Right.
to the point where, our own cognitive skills start to fade.
Right.
The key is to use AI as a tool to enhance our abilities, not to replace them.
So it's about finding that balance, right? Using AI to like boost our own intelligence, not to substitute for it.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these discussions about the ethical implications of AI. We need to be thoughtful about how we integrate these technologies into education. We need to make sure that they help students become well-rounded individuals, capable of both critical thinking and creative problem solving.
This whole conversation makes me think about something else. We've been focused on this Windows app, but it's really just a small piece of the puzzle. What does the future hold for AI? I mean, it's already changing the world so quickly. What happens next?
Well, it's impossible to predict the future for sure, but one thing is clear. AI is going to continue to transform our lives in profound ways. We're already seeing it in healthcare, transportation, finance, entertainment. Basically, every aspect of our world is being touched by AI.
It's true. It sometimes feels like we're living in a sci-fi movie, but it also makes me a little nervous. What if things go wrong? Like, what if AI becomes too powerful? Or what if it's used for bad stuff?
Those are really legitimate concerns, and they really highlight the importance of responsible AI development. We need to establish some really clear ethical guidelines. We need to ensure transparency and accountability, and we need to work together to prevent AI from being misused.
So it's not just about, developing cool new technology. It's about making sure that technology is used for good.
Exactly. It's about harnessing the power of AI to benefit humanity as a whole, to solve some of the world's most pressing challenges, and to create a brighter future for everyone.
Oh, that's a vision I can get behind. This conversation has been wild. It's been exciting, a little bit scary, but ultimately I think it's given me hope for the future.
I think that's the perfect way to sum it up.
Mhm.
We're at a really pivotal moment in history. The choices we make today will shape the future of AI and its impact on our world. It's really up to all of us to ensure that AI is used ethically, responsibly, and for the betterment of humanity.
Well said. And with that, I think we've given our listeners plenty to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.